You people that are watching this podcast, you see what we've been through today and what we went through last week.
Trying to just gauge the forest a little bit.
She said when I come up out of here, she said, you are Snow White. You can realize this son of a bitch is that deep. Well, we're headed back in to finish up the cast we found. Shut up, I said, I can hear something walking. I kept hearing something going.
20 inches.
I'll bring that back. That's what I said. Holy shit.
Almost looks like something's been living in there.
And we had all stopped talking and we were listening. And we were all hearing the walking. It was definitely 2 feet, like he said.
You're seeing what we're seeing.
You could completely tell that it was something on 2 feet.
You just tried something with some weight step there. Feel that?
Yeah.
That's where it squished up.
Yep.
Brian!
That's a tree twist.
I might have something. Looks like something might be bedding in here too.
So we finally made it to base camp. We're here in Hogtown, and we got all of our stuff set up. Now we're gonna go out with Sue and Brian, and we're gonna take a little journey to all the different locations where casts were found, people had experiences or encounters with these things, and possibly see if we can find some evidence ourselves. So stay tuned, my friends, because this is gonna be a good one.
This is where I like to walk. Are these
The
both
riverbeds.
sides of this kind of shit.
Yeah, all these creek beds.
Oh, right here.
Oh, okay.
Right here. If that were to heal, possible toes. And that's a stick. Seems like that, but see, it seems like that would be broke. Like that.
Right.
And then the next step up would have been here. Because that's definitely a
I
left
could
foot.
see that. Yeah, right here. That's the left foot.
But you can see,
Big toe.
but it's just curious. You want to step down and see that's there, but you don't know how old this is.
Yeah.
So there would have been a heel back in here somewhere, but you got the width. And this is the ball of the foot. What you would call the metatarsal break.
Yep, right here.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you can say what you want, but I know people that would cast that saying we found a Bigfoot
I
cast.
don't know, man. Yeah, that does look a little convincing.
But then I got up here, started looking this way, and it looks like another foot. It would have been the right foot come over to here, possibly right into here. And then went off this way. They didn't find anything up here. But for their weight, but it covers a lot of material. It's like, what do you call it? It's like walking on a waterbed.
Yeah.
A lot of this that got sunk down will work up, or you can hear it. It sounds hollow. You go up over, like where you're camping, stomp on the ground. Sounds hollow underneath, you know?
Because of all the roots.
But these are the places I always effing hit are these, and I'll follow these sons of bitches. That's usually where we find our cats. Yeah, or deer track, every one of these valleys, they're going this way and this
Yeah,
way.
there's something right there.
That's deer right there.
Yeah.
I think I got in a truck a roll of this color tape,
To mark it.
plastic
So
tape.
we could always come back. Look at all the water bugs.
Yeah, to find it.
You think of that?
Nah,
Do I?
that's just a natural indentation. The water's been coming from underneath here.
Yep.
See, that's how I got that cast of just the toenails. If the
With
thing
something
was
like
walking
this.
this kind of shit, and while it was walking, its foot went right underneath that and picked up.
Yep.
And the heel was back into here. And so it was underneath, and when it stepped up, I said, I wonder just for the shit, and that's where we got the actual toenails. It was about that wide.
Wow.
The toes with the toenails.
This is kind of similar to, not quite as severe, but there is a lot of moss. It does look like a pretty damp area.
Oh, yeah.
There's not the big ferns, but it
You've
does.
got places in here where the ferns are like this.
Yeah, it does seem reminiscent of the Pulteney River area in a way.
This ground is like this year round as far as the dampness goes.
Yeah. I just feel like, to me, from the research I've done, this is an area that they would like.
Oh yeah, they've gotten more than one cast out of this. It's quite a large area, but
Wait a minute, Brian.
Oh my God, that was so good.
Brian.
Yeah.
This looks a little wide, but it just looked a little interesting to me. It'd be older, if anything, but it does look a little wide.
This kid about one cast I got's wider than that. Take the shit, the loose leaves and stuff right out of there. Sometimes you'd be surprised. As a critter or some kind.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It only goes in so far. 2.
It could be like this way. Going.
I'm glad you came down and got a picture of that.
Yeah.
One spot, because who the hell's to say
Exactly, you know.
That could be 3 months old.
It could be. You never know. It's definitely the area where
We got other
they'd be at.
Other spots where we can walk and
We will resume the hunt.
I don't remember if it was on top of this hill here when it got the cast. We heard about it through that Matt Moneymaker's group, or Steve Culls. He was affiliated with it. We found the same thing they cast.
Yeah.
Was out at the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
They were in here, and
Right.
he heard a vocalization that he said was coming from this direction. While he was hearing that vocalization, they were in here.
Who the hell was the group he was with, Steve?
Biscardi.
Biscardi, that's it. That's the
And they
name.
brought him up here thinking nothing would happen, just to shut him up.
Yeah.
But something happened.
Yeah.
And so then we came back, like the next day, or within a day or two, we were in here, us.
Right.
And we could still smell that skunky,
Yeah, yeah,
musky
yeah.
smell all down in that bowl where you guys just were.
Yeah.
You could smell it. That whole
I
area
didn't
down
go,
there.
I didn't go way down. I
was
didn't
just-
go way down because
no.
there are puddles that big around and that deep of water.
Oh,
there
there is some water.
It's coming out from underneath this.
Okay. So yeah, this whole area had that musky, skunky smell, and it lingered for a few days because we were back up here again, like maybe
Yeah.
4 days later, and you could still smell it a little bit. It was weird. But going up the side of the hill, remember when we came back up, we found that like 10 or 12 tracks kind
Yeah.
of going up at an angle
Yeah,
up through the
up
leaves,
through-
and you
yeah.
could see them clearly, but you couldn't cast
nothing
them.
castable.
We couldn't cast them. They were in the
A lot of
leaves.
times
and
you'll
you
find
couldn't-
you'll find a track. It's right
like,
there.
you can
might
see it.
I thought before, and I told her, hey, it's a good idea. Find something like that if you're carrying baby powder. Put it in your hand, and just do the perimeter of what you're looking at. And then take
and
a
then
picture.
you take a picture so you can. It gives some kind of perception
Right,
when you
yeah.
normally you're just looking at. Because it's really hard to take a good picture
It
of
is.
a track.
Well, you
They
gotta
don't
have a
come out.
scale. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
that's
so something like
something.
if you put a ruler next to it.
Right.
Oh, we usually
Even an
always have
apple.
that.
Yeah, and we
use
have.
an apple as you just
Yeah,
need something
anything.
for perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
Get
Yeah.
a miniature $5 gold piece and put that in there. And
That
the
works
track
too.
this big
Yeah.
looks that
You
big.
could even use an iPhone.
We
Within a
found
couple
we
days
got
of
a
that
picture. We took a
whole
picture of
incident.
something down there. It could be an old track. Can't say yes, and I definitely won't say no.
How deep
And then
is
when he
an
when he
impression?
come over, it's
It's
in.
not very deep, but it looks promising, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But
How
the-
far from here?
A mile and a
Couple
half. These are the places, all kidding aside, that I like to walk because of the moisture on both sides of the. There's usually water running down, so you can see there's a little bit, but
The hell of a lot of moss.
oh yeah. But you can see it'd be like walking here and having them parallel you up on that high spot. No, I like this. I was really happy with what I see, but I'm not going to definitely say yes. I'm not, but I'm
Not
not
gonna
definitely
say
not going to
no,
say
yeah.
no. It could be an old track. It could be 3-4 months old. Who the hell knows? As you see yourself, and all over and through here, we got these wet spots like this.
Yeah.
That's what you want to check. We're always looking for structures and what they call nests, and I don't believe they nest myself.
Well, a couple of people have found,
What
I
looks
guess,
like an nest.
makeshift shelters, right?
Yeah. It's right here, where the spot is. You see, this is where the heel would be. roughly here. And there's the dermal ridge, but you got what looked like, how the hell was it now? There's a footprint in that son of a bitch, and there shouldn't be. And that's not my footprint. It's not my...
I don't think you would have stepped there anyway, Brian.
No, shit, no.
Marshy.
No goddamn well, that's the spot.
Got another potential track here. Maybe. Where was that other one?
Okay. So there's like 2 or 3, and they're small. Like it's not.
So it could be.
Someone was it a person? But who was it down there?
Yeah, no. Nobody's gonna be on this trail barefoot.
Then I'm like, it's like a teddy bear, but I can't see Palmer.
Oh, I see. I see. I see.
So it would be like super small.
It could be a juvenile.
But it could be.
Or it could be a bear, because it does kind of look like a bear,
Yeah.
but there's no... I don't see any claw marks. That's the thing.
So there's that one. Okay. Then I'm going down this way, and I look. Up here. Oh, I saw another one. This one that caught my eye that I thought. Wait a minute, let me get my eyes adjusted again to what it was. Okay, so it's this one. And if you step back at the angle,
Well, I can see something was digging here.
right here, though,
Oh, okay, okay.
that's what I thought might be a bear.
Well, it could, because you see, this could be from water too, but it does almost look like something dug this up.
Yeah,
So I know bears do that because they eat
because I thought
grubs.
these were like toes, but then this
It's
would be
really
just
small.
a pad.
Yeah.
But it's small, so is it a bear? Is it something
It could
smaller
very
than
well be a bear, because I know they like to dig up moss so they can find
Right?
bugs.
Well, that makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought
Interesting.
that they're small,
Another maybe, but
but not likely.
nothing.
Not likely Bigfoot,
Yeah,
unless
nothing
that one was
castable.
like a really small.
It could be an adolescent, but
Yeah.
cool. But we want a good
No, you
one to
can't.
cast.
When you know, you'll know. That's
Yes,
basically
absolutely.
When you see one that's definite, you'll know.
But I mean, and that kind of goes back to the whole credibility thing, because I hate the people that are like, oh, that's definitely a Bigfoot track,
Me
and then they
too.
cast it instantly. And
Oh my God, I hate that.
Yeah, because there's the dead leaves.
Yeah, and he said it's right next to a huge...
Oh, here we go, here we go. Now I see it. Okay, this would be the big toe. Right here, another toe here, roughly there.
Yeah,
This
I
is
see it,
But
I
see,
see it.
see this here?
Yes.
That
where
would,
it's pushed up.
then you come back into here, but this wasn't this wasn't broken, that wasn't broken. But who the hell say how old that track is? It's
Yeah,
gonna settle
true.
because of the moisture.
That's true.
Who the hell's to say, I won't say it's not a track, but I won't say it is.
It
either.
is either. Yeah, it's not
And then
definitive enough.
the next foot would have been up in this area, and look at the indentations up here. Right there, right there, right there.
I do. I see it. I see it to the left. I see one big toe.
This is
one,
left
two,
foot, right
four.
foot.
Yeah, I see 4 toes too on that one.
Yeah.
But they're really like close together.
Yeah.
They say their stride's what? About 4 foot?
Oh, the stride walking?
Yeah.
Depending on their size, all the way up to 6. All the way up to 6 when you get to 8, 9, 10 footers they talk about that I've, what I saw was 7.5 to 8 feet, and it had a hell of a stride on it going
Yeah.
across the field, and that's when Glenn LaRose followed it all the way down in that corner himself there the next day or 2 days later when he was off duty. But this is where I haven't been there. I usually go follow the summit all the way down through there. But one person on one side, one on the other, just taking your time. You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
How's it look up there, Tony?
What's that?
How's it look?
It's a maybe.
look at this one, guys. Perfect mid-tarsal break right here. These could be your toes. This is a left foot. Look at how deep this mark is. That might be the best one we've found so far. I'm not gonna lie.
You can't hear it.
Well, we're going to continue going on down. You guys can stay on this side if you want, on that side.
I might look for a better place to cross for me and her.
Well, you can stay right on that side.
Yeah, I can do that too.
As I say, one on one side, one on the other, if you want. Here's another possibility. You got to realize it's all damp and moist in here all the time. Now you look at it, looks like the outline of a heel right there. There's the inside of the foot, toe, 1, 2, 3 there. Where the other one is, I don't know, but there's another possibility. Would I cast that and say is that castable as far as I'm concerned? Yes.
Is it?
Oh yeah, to me it is. Yes, it is. But like I say, with this moisture in here, it's like doing this, and sooner or later that's going to disappear.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just going to keep coming up and up and up.
To stay, I mean.
But this is so cool. I mean, the old trees and the root bases up like that, and different critters use stuff like that too. You know, I'm not saying that is, but I'm not saying it's not.
Could be.
But when you get down and just close your eyes, and what I do is this. I can feel that toe. What would be a toe, but this would be a young one.
Yeah.
It's not an adult. I always every time I come up, I found 2 different casts in this strip.
So it's almost like maybe not guaranteed, but you'll find something at least out here.
I hope to. I mean, we've got 2 possibilities that could be older. It's not like you're stepping in concrete, but this kind of soil is going to hold, because that's pressed down. It's going to hold on for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
But usually when the water's running better than this, it'll go underground for so many yards and pop right back up. What'd that look like back there?
We found a pretty solid one.
Well, you want to come and look at this one?
Yeah.
This is I'm saying I'm not. Maybe it is, maybe not.
No, we got a good one back there. It's possible.
You know, there's a lot of possibilities. No matter how you look at it,
Right.
you're going to find, especially in these boggy areas.
Okay.
And nobody's touched that. Caleb was there, and I was over here. Here's the outline of the heel. Mm-hmm. And you come up in here, that'd be a toe. And you come up and look, you can see what looks like a toe there, possibly there, one
Well, that's
there.
the one we looked at. There, you could see like toe imprints, and there's a huge break in the middle, and
Really?
then there's a big heel print in the back. We marked
This
it.
is all. This valley right here has always been good. It's always been good. That, you know, like I said to Kayla, is that castable? Would I cast that if I had it with me right now? Yes.
Would you?
That could be a young one.
It could be.
Not saying it is, but I'm not saying it's not.
We'll have to take a look at that one up there at some point.
Did you see back here?
Well, hey, look at this.
Look at this. See the roundness?
It almost looks like something's been living in there.
Yeah, probably a raccoon or something hanging out, getting frogs out of here.
I don't know,
But you
Brian.
don't
I
have-
don't know if I see enough
Huh?
definition to cast that.
Right here. Toe, toe,
I see.
toe, toe.
I don't know.
Like I say, if you're looking for something to cast, there's a possibility.
It is a possibility.
But I'm not saying it is.
Right, we need to mark these.
Christ, I don't think you can't walk 10 feet and not come across the
Whoa.
deer tracks.
I think I might see a bear track.
Really?
I think so. Could just be a divot, but it almost looks like there's some claw marks in here. But it could just be a divot from the water seeping out of here. Right shape, but
Yeah, it is.
I don't see
I always
anything
look for
else.
the claw marks in the front.
Yeah.
4 of them. Oh, look at this. Is that white? Still nice and white?
It's a little dry, but
Almost nailed your head with it.
it's all right. We got a nice view of it on the camera. Yeah, it looks a little dry, so it could have just been from being dead, but
It's not dead.
No,
She's
it's
alive. Could have been about a 50-pound turkey landed on it, I guess.
I don't know, Brian.
I don't see anything come down and whack it. Everything is on the ground is older than hell.
It's true. Could be.
You have to go up around this shit here because this is where you get all the downfalls. It was on that stretch where they found that track because I come down this way and found it going back. Like I say, that was, Jesus Christ, 7-8 years ago.
Brian, wouldn't it be nice, you know, we get a... Oh,
This is where like a castable, something castable.
looks like there's some... No, that's deer. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it would be ideal if we could find a big old print in a bank like this.
And people say, well, you only come out with one cast. You'd be surprised. There could be 50 here that you're not even seeing.
You're never going to see.
You're never going to see, exactly. Like I was explaining to Kayla, is that you take and go like this 4 or 5 times, it's going to come back up anyway.
Yeah.
You got to cast underneath that
The litter.
moss. You smell that? I just got a whiff of something smells dead. Puff of it. I suppose it could be the water itself.
Could be.
So it's like 2:22, guys. We've been out here since probably a little after 11:30 by the time we got the tent set up and stuff. And we're looking for prints. We found a couple of potential members. I don't know if we're going to be able to make casts because we only brought limited cast material with us. So I want to make sure that whatever we're casting is definitely a deep impression. That's something that's going to make you go scratch your head a little bit. So we're looking.
Looks a little maybe small, but
Short. I don't see anybody walking around in their bare feet.
no, it's too big to be a person. But
Not really.
Yeah, it is.
Ooh,
what do you think?
Jesus Christ, something with some weight stepped here. Feel that?
Yeah.
That's where it squished up.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think that one might be castable.
Yeah.
It does look a little rounded at the front, though.
Yeah, it is awful round. Well,
Well,
I mean, it's
So are you guys
the
thinking
thing
rock?
is, Brian, that you're also pulling leaf litter and stuff out of there.
yeah.
True.
I want to get the
So
shape.
If it, right, but if the toes and stuff were part of the leaf litter, then you've removed where you might see evidence of them.
Not in there.
Okay.
You can still,
Not like
yeah,
that.
but you can still see the heel.
I
It's
still
really
think you can
clear.
see the
That's the
heel.
first thing I do if it's got shit in it. Is gently take the leaves out to get the form.
And if you're gonna,
That would be, if
cast on
anything, it'd be a left foot.
Yeah.
Right. So the big toe would be.
No, it would be a right.
No,
'cause-
it's the left.
I
You
know,
can
but
see
you're
where the
back.
big would
You're
be.
back in here too.
Angle,
You
see,
feel
if
right
that
there.
was
Oh,
the
yeah.
Push down on it.
The bigger toe would be on that side.
Let's just go back a little further.
Definitely.
With just the top layer of stuff, not getting way down into it. Because if it stepped down,
I mean, if you casted that, you would get just a form. You wouldn't get.
Yeah, you wouldn't
any
get a
toes.
definitive
You're not
toes,
gonna
or
get any
you
toes
get
on
that
there.
hump really good, but
Yeah, that's
about
all you're
it.
gonna get.
because
is there anything else in the surrounding area that kind of
that's dead
resembles that?
leaves.
What's that right there, Sue, in front of you?
That I think is one of us. I think one of
Oh,
our
stepping
shoe
over there?
prints. Yeah.
That is
Left,
definitely very
Right,
like
should be up by that
disputable.
stick right there somewhere.
Yeah, what do they got? Like a 6-foot stride, Brian?
5 to 6 foot when they're
6
walking in the
foot,
woods.
So.
The one that walked across that guy's backyard was almost 6 foot. The one
I
that
see
got that
another
big
imprint
cast.
here, but
That's
it's
the
not
problem, is
distinguishable.
Oh, now what about that over here? Like right in there. Nah, I don't think that's anything. No, but I have a better.
See this? There's a little indentation there.
That's the weird thing is you find one thing.
Yeah,
and
'cause
then
his
you can't always find
Front
another.
pad could have pushed in and his toes
Some
could have
people have
stayed up.
found multiple tracks
Yep.
and then they just disappear.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's
Very
hard
good.
in the woods, too.
It is.
Now wait a minute. Now you know what, guys?
There's usually a lot
I'm
of
looking
them.
at this the other way now. You're looking at one way. I'm looking at it going that way. That looks like a person's
Aren't they
footprint.
cute? I love them.
See 'em?
There's quite
Yeah.
a few of them up in this area, actually.
You see what I'm seeing now?
Yeah.
I usually see some. That's the first
Yeah, I
one
do.
saw today.
That looks just like
Came in
somebody's.
crossways.
Susan, look at this. You're looking at it that way. Now look at it this way. What do you see?
Boot somebody's sneaker.
Yeah.
Boot.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yep, I can
That's
see
just
it.
a shoe.
Okay.
Yep.
Close. It was definitely close. It was a good find.
Well, the two that we got down there, the two possibles, but
I don't think they're castable enough to give any.
they're that one in particular is castable, but you're not going to
You're
get
not
much
gonna
of
get much
a
out of it. It's no
detail.
no
'Cause what
sense
we're
of-
looking for is detail.
Right, because there's no sense wasting the plaster if we can't get some detail. But
What was this, about how many years ago?
oh gosh,
About 10 years? 10, 15?
we'll say 9-10 years ago. 9-10 years ago.
Roughly 9, 10 years ago, our Bigfoot group, there was 1, 2, 3, 4 of us here. And we had that, well, it's like holding a satellite dish in your hand with the headphones. And it was drizzly rain off and on that night, drizzly rain. And we were parked over here, and I got that thing, and I'm doing this up towards the woods. And Bill Brand, he was with us, and I kept telling him, Jesus, I kept telling them all, shut up. I said, I can hear something walking because a mosquito from here to them bushes over there. It sounded like a B-52 coming over the goddamn treetops, you know? But I kept hearing something going. And it was breaking the little sticks.
Sticks and
And
stuff.
it came from back in that direction. That's where we want to go, where that marsh is back in there.
Okay.
But anyway, it kept coming up over. It was starting to stop. And then I couldn't hear nothing. I said, screw this. I'm going to take a walk. So I take this thing and I'm headed down the road. Come on this way. And these guys are still all carrying on, talking and everything else. You can't get them to shut up, so what are you going to do, right? Get away from them.
I will add that before or after Brian had gone down, we heard, a couple of us heard, we had those hearing earphones.
Parabolic
on.
microphone.
Yeah.
We did hear a couple of almost like deep grunts. That's all I can say. It wasn't like anything lengthy, but it was like a boom.
Were you guys here at night?
So
Yeah.
we didn't
Oh,
know
it
if
was
it was a bear
nighttime?
Like
or what, but
1:30, 2 o'clock in the
all
morning
of
we
us
left
were
here.
also hearing the walking, because by then we had all stopped talking and we were listening. And we were all hearing the walking. It was definitely 2 feet, like he said. You could completely tell that it was something on 2 feet, and we could all hear it. So then he goes down here.
They
after the rest
all
of them.
stayed up here and I walked down the road down here.
Alone. What a surprise.
And like I say, at nighttime when it's dark up here, it's dark. There's no natural light. I'm still listening with the device up in here while I'm walking. I don't hear nothing, so I figured I'd just go down here and flake my rear end against a tree down here and keep listening. Because I could hear everything they're saying with that thing. Even though they're way up here, I could hear every word they're saying.
Yeah. What is this road used for, Brian?
There's more
This-
campsites
can you
and stuff
drive
back
down here?
Oh yeah. Well, that's Daisy Clearing down the end of this, right?
Clearing is at the end of this,
It's
which is
big.
a parking area, and then you have more hiking trails that go up Sleeping Beauty Mountain, and you can keep going all the way to Black Mountain. Then there's another
Whitehall.
trail that goes down towards Shelving Rock from Dacy Clearing. So there's trails that go off from here.
Oh, wow.
hiking trails.
Shelving Rock, there's been kids that have fallen off there and broken legs and
Died.
what, 1 or 2 that have died
Couple have
that we
died.
know of. Screwing around on top of it. How quiet it is. That night there was the same thing. No sound. But then you could hear with that thing going, you could hear water dripping off the leaves, hitting the ground, that kind of stuff, you know.
Now you would say, Brian, when we walked in, was it coming around this way from that side?
From that direction, and what it was doing was going across the top of this, like parallel to me, off to my
Okay.
right. Because that goes up so far and it goes down.
Right.
I got right down here. That one tree that sticks out right down there. That was crazy. It was scary. I had goosebumps while I'm listening, but, you know. And like I said, I couldn't get these guys to shop as after I leave
Fucking
up there.
dark in here, man.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah, now when the
Holy
sun's out.
shit.
There's spots in here that are worse than that, where it's really thick. I got down, I walked down to the S-turn, and now I'm pointing the whatchamacallit back up that way. And I still couldn't hear anything, so that's why I decided to walk back up right here by this tree. I just squatted down, leaned against the tree. This is my tree. But I sat here, I don't think I was here maybe 5 minutes, give or take, handful. And I got the thing and I'm doing this, I'm going down, like I said, I'd walk down to the S-turn down there and I'd walk back up. And that's when I started hearing the footprints again, the footsteps again up in here.
In here.
And it was pitch black, you can't see nothing. You can hear stuff, but you can't see nothing. Didn't have any lights on. Next thing I knew is I heard like branches moving on the trees and something hit down in here. They thought I was pushing over a dead tree. I showed
Okay.
I showed them. There was a few dead ones when we were doing our push them over.
Push them over.
Instead of somebody getting hit in the head with the goddamn thing. But all I heard was that was a rock. It wasn't a log. It was a freaking rock.
Came from this way.
Came from up on the top up there is where it came from. So it came through roughly in this direction right here, right where that young
The
hemlock
two trees
is.
split right here.
Yeah.
Seems like.
And that's what I said, holy shit. And I started walking up, and Sue and Clifford, Cliff was the next police officer out of South Glens Falls. She said, when I come up out of here, she said, you were Snow White. I know I was. I was scared to ever living shit out of me. You're sitting here and it's dead quiet, and all of a sudden you hear something like in the trees, and you hear, boosh, boosh, down through it went.
Yeah.
It's down there somewhere. Down in that hollow there somewhere. There's got to be a big...
I was going to
Big-sized
say, that
rock.
looks like it goes down even after where it drops off there a little further.
Yep. Up there, it was crazy.
So from here, you know, I don't know if you guys want to go back over that knob and down towards my brother's.
Yeah, well, let's do that while it's still light enough to get back in there.
Because that's not far. Then
Right.
we can drive into Dacy Clearing.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Better go to the shot.
What are you looking at?
This right here. Right there. And down into there. See?
Oh, yeah.
See it?
Yeah, I do. And there's the break.
Yep. And who's to say? Oh, it's probably old, but it's in the bark and stuff from being logged off. Right there.
Yeah, I see it. The heel, the torso.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, I see where it's
You can
stepped.
see the heel. It could be one of the logger's boots, I guess.
Could be.
But you're talking, let's see. There's 9,
He's got a ruler in that backpack.
10, about 16 inches. Right there. Right here. Ito. There's the heel. You see, like the metatarsal break. This has all been pushed down, like I said. Is that from one of the logger's boots? But it goes from here to there.
Not unless their boot breaks in the middle like that, which I can't
No,
see that
no,
being a
no.
thing.
Well,
It's
considering
very
the ones we
interesting,
saw
that's for
down in
sure.
There, it's just as good as a possibility as
And it's
those.
walking this ridge.
Could be. This is too crappy. He shouldn't be trying to get down in there. And
That's why I'm going to go up a little bit
No.
further and see if we can get into the
Well, I'm looking at it this way. I would say, Brian, your best bet, because there's a trail over there where I was, you could go down that trail a lot easier than hoofing around and trying to find. Because if you remember, that road took us all the way down quite a ways. And we had to
Back
walk
out on the
back
road.
up here.
She said there was a path over here, huh? I don't.
Now, Brian, you've collected at least one hair sample before, right? Or you were with somebody who did?
Yeah, and they come back. What's that? Yeah, I
can
got
see it
you.
right there.
That's where we're headed.
And obviously you've casted footprints. Have you ever found like a potential structure or bed?
A possibility. You know, I'll either say yes and or no, but I've seen and I've done it myself. You're hunting and you're going back in the woods, calling for snow, so you build yourself a little bit of a structure.
Yep.
Put pine boughs over it.
Yep.
And, you know, and I'm a hunter, I did that. And somebody else
Right.
comes along, what the hell built that thing?
Right, yeah. And it's always possible it could just be a person making something like that, but...
Yep. Get a thickness in there, huh?
You know, and like the holy grail of Bigfoot would be to find a print, hair sample, a structure, and if you had all those
Good
three...
stool sample.
Or a good stool sample. If you found all of those things...
There's the marsh.
Which, honestly, I don't think anybody's ever found all of those things at once.
Hair sample, yes, that come from out. That's the hair sample that they found out in Washington. That come back 96.4% human.
Right.
And the rest of it doesn't match with anything known to mankind that we have.
But yeah, that's the problem. Until we find a specimen and have
Exactly.
something to compare the DNA to, it's always going to come back inconclusive.
You know, and the odd thing of it is too, Tony, is that they did this on one of the programs on TV where it was a medium-sized deer carcass found in the woods.
Yeah.
In less than 2 weeks, all there was a spot of hair here, and the bones were gone, the fur was gone, the skull, everything gone.
Now let me ask you this. Don't bears take their food away?
Bears will usually drag it someplace and partially cover it
Well,
up
you would
and
see
go back
that.
and get it.
You would see the drag marks and
Yeah.
all that other stuff.
You know, if there's something were killed right there, I'd probably leave it there and cover it up, because the only things that cover their food mostly in the North Country are bears and big cats.
Right, and big cats are far in between up here, so they say. They're
No,
far in
used to
between.
be, not no more.
Yeah. It's
Not
just
no
like
more.
the moose, you know?
Yeah.
Hardly ever used to see moose 10, 15 years ago. Now they're back again.
Yep.
Oh, is this posted down here?
Jesus, used to be so much better.
Does somebody own this down here, Brian?
Yeah, just actually, all of this used to be part of Napa State.
Yep.
But the Stiles is the one that owns all the land. Somebody in the family still owns their own. They own a few thousand acres in this mountain range. And my wife's brother and 4 or 5 of his friends lease it for hunting.
Oh, so we can come through here.
Yeah, we got Steve's permission to come back here.
Look at Brian, you're so graceful.
Go with the flow, as they would say.
Yep.
You know how dense the woods get down in here, though?
Yeah, it's beautiful down through here.
Yep, now we'll be on their property in a minute. There's a poster. That must be the cutoff line right there, the property line,
Yep.
because this hasn't been touched. I just thought I heard something. I did hear something.
Yep. You hear it? Hold on, stop. That was big.
Wish I had one of them. Have my whatchamacallit. So
It's right over that way. I just heard
Yeah,
it.
because I heard it that way. Probably a deer, but
I don't know, whatever just broke that. It sounded like something just broke a really big stick.
oh yeah.
I went doo-doo, doo-doo. You can hear it. It's further away now. Sound like it went back this way. Unless there's two. Whatever it is. But it's something bigger. It could be a deer.
I definitely heard it. It was off there away. I quick look, couldn't see anything, but there was something made the noise.
Hard to tell from this far away, but definitely could have been a deer or bear or whatever.
And this is where the marsh starts. Remember, we walked almost all the way over to the other side. There used to be a beaver dam down in the far corner. We're trying everything we can to find something.
I'm already happy with what we got, you know? Nothing 100% confirmed,
No.
but still some interesting stuff.
Never will be, not until you find a perfect castable track.
Yes,
Then
sir.
you can say, now there's a track. There's all kinds of possibilities in the woods, but you can't stake your reputation on it, you know?
Yep. This looks like something's been through here.
Something's spent some time right here.
Yeah. I
Right
feel like
here.
I'm in the Amazon.
Right here too.
Yep, another bed. This could have been one deer.
One big one.
Something pretty big.
Something's been out through here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe more than one.
Fuck.
Oh, what's this? All marsh?
It's all but fucking dried up. I see where they've logged it over there.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, there was actually water in here before. Down there, down the far end, way down. There was a beaver dam about that high. Because we walked the whole edge of that and got down the other end. All kinds of deer tracks. In fact, there was a bear tracks, big cat tracks, bobcat probably.
A little wet.
That's all? Oh yeah. Oh good God, what did we get ourselves into?
I think we might be better off going up here.
Oh, we get up over the top here somewhere. Fucking deer tracks in here.
Oh yeah, they love going through this shit.
I don't know if we should go. Yeah, we are. This looks like a skidder road, be honest with you. It's amazing watching them things go through the woods. Jesus Christ. I don't know about you, but I'm going to be ready for a drink of water and a 10-15 minute break.
Yes, sir. I'll take a quick gander here.
Well, we gave it a shot, Tony. What the hell else did you say?
Yeah, can't say we didn't get our exercise.
It's like a game of chance.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and
Hoping like hell you win or you find something.
it's like, well, exactly like I said in the last video. I mean, I know it's cliche, but it's literally like a needle in a haystack.
Uh-huh.
You know, you might only have 1 or 2 Sasquatch in like a 100 to 200 mile radius, you know?
Exactly. Or you could have a whole family group.
Are we gonna
So there's two
Yeah,
stories to
yeah,
tell
you can
here.
start them on.
We're gonna go very far. What are we gonna do here?
We're not going to go very far, but there's 2 stories to tell here, so I wanted
Yeah.
to tell that, and then we can split up and mosey and look for anything we can find.
And
But
that'll
this
probably be our
trail
last
right
shot.
here heads up to Sleeping Beauty. That's where one of the events happened. So there was a girl and her family. They were hiking and they were coming back down from Sleeping Beauty, and she was kind of lagging behind, and the family had gone ahead.
Well, I can barely
And
do
as you realize from what we've experienced so far with roots and stones and rocks, that especially I know that trail gets really rocky. she tripped at some point, rolled her ankle, and she started to cry out, or I don't know, but the story was that she was crying because her ankle hurt. I don't know how bad it was, but they were ahead of her, and so she noticed something moving to her left, and she looked and crouched behind like bushy area or foliage. There was a Bigfoot looking at her that was like kind of hidden down and peeking out from around the foliage. So we don't know if her crying attracted it to see what was happening or what. But then at that point, family had heard her, and they turned around and were coming back up. And she got up and hobbled very quickly, you know, heading out of there because she was terrified at that point. And that just happened not far up this trail, but they were on their way back down. So that's one thing that has happened here that we know of. And the other thing that happened is there's a trail that goes, I don't know where the sign is, but the trail that goes out of here this way will eventually take you down. Well, I could actually include Spook's Corners in that. It takes you, there's 2 stories on this trail then. This takes you all the way back down to Shelving Rock Mountain Trail, and there's a parking area and stuff down there, which we don't have time to even add to this day. It's another whole long hike. But so the first piece of information was George, the one that we've talked about in our group, that older guy. He would just go out and camp in the mountains by himself for a couple weeks. You know, he was very wood savvy, and he has horses, loves horses. Well, he was riding horseback. He used to come up here quite a bit with his horses, and he was riding by himself down that trail. And there's a place where you come to a little bridge, and it was before he got to that, he said the horse started to act spooked. So it was like, you know, prancing, and the ears went back flat, and it kept looking over its shoulder this way. So he knew that the horse was nervous, and he knew that it was aware of something off left, maybe a little behind them. And so he kept trying to make the horse go forward, and the horse absolutely refused. That horse just wasn't going to go any farther. So he decided at that point, well, why push it? We'll just turn around, we'll come back up. They had just come down that trail, and there was nobody else on the trail. And when he turned around and headed back up, it wasn't very far, and there was a tree that had been broken and was right straight across the trail. And he had to get off and cut the tree to get it out of the way enough so that he could get through with his horse to come back up the trail. So there's no explanation as to how that happened. And the fact that the horse was responding to being nervous, that something was in the area that it was making it, you know, not want to go. So that was really weird. They can sense things. So something was happening there, and we would have just written it off as, well, maybe, you know, it was a bear in the area or a mountain lion or something. But the fact that that tree limb got broken down and put across the trail, obviously that's something else entirely.
Because it wasn't there.
It wasn't there. Like minutes. Like we're talking. Right. Yeah. So then going further down the trail, this is something that comes from my family. So I told Joe my dad had passed away up in here. Well, there is a trail that goes to Mount Erebus off of the Shelving Rock Trail. So if you were coming from the bottom end up towards where that same bridge is I was talking about, it would be a little ways before that on the downside. Yep. So my dad and some of his hunting buddies, some of his friends, they used to hunt up in here occasionally. My dad hunted in Vermont more than he hunted in New York, but he did hunt some in New York. And he had come up here, and they like to go up into Mount Erebus. It's very, very rugged up there. It's very steep and cliffs, and it's pretty rugged territory. So anyways, they would put people on watch right where that Mount Erebus trail would cut off from the Shelving Rock Trail and the trail that comes up to Dacy Clearing. They named it Spook's Corners because there were multiple times they had different people sitting on watch near that where that trail branched off. We always thought it was a paranormal thing, but now I'm not so sure. So it did not happen to my brother, but it happened to my brother's friend. It happened to my father's friend. That it would be at dusk. They'd be doing the last drive of the day, and they would, whoever was on watch there, would start to hear something walking towards them, and they could hear it coming clearly on 2 feet to the point that they felt they should be able to see what was making, you know, what was walking, and they never were able to see anything at all. It creeped them out to the point that nobody would sit on watch there anymore, because it happened multiple times to multiple people in my dad's hunting party. So they just started dubbing it Spook's Corners, and you know, we're not gonna sit at Spook's Corners, right? So then I began to think after I learned more about Bigfoot, like, well, maybe it was a Bigfoot walking and it was staying hidden or camouflaged and they weren't able to see where it was.
So,
Well, it's like you people that are watching this podcast, you see what we've been through today and what we went through last week. We are actually out doing foot to ground, ground to foot investigations. We aren't hearing something and then drawing pictures of this is possibly what happened, so on. So you're seeing what we're seeing. And like with the Bigfoot legend, let alone finding evidence, it's a lot tougher than you think. But if you have a spot where you have found stuff, normally you go back and you can find something. And in this podcast, you will see the 2 pictures that were taken of possibilities that could have been older, but you'd have to be here walking on this ground to see what the ground is really like, where it's like walking on a wet sponge, where you got to have some weight to leave a track to start with. You try doing that in an area like this and it dissipates. It just goes away because all the ground comes back up the whole 9 yards. It's come this way. What do you got?
you got something?
I don't normally get into tree things, but this is a little odd. So
Tree
I want you
things?
to, tree things. I want you to look at
We're
it.
off of Coastal Park. I'll not be worried about trees. How far are you?
Oh, what the hell?
Oh,
a
those
little
trees
strange.
bent over like that? Yeah. Well, I can see what happened.
Did a tree fall down on it?
This was taken down when this tree come down.
Driven into that.
Yeah.
It's driven in there.
Yeah.
That's kind of
It'd
weird.
feel a lot better if there was one going the other way.
But it's kind of odd, isn't it?
It's a little strange. Granted, that tree could have maybe done that, but
Yeah. And like I said, I don't get excited about tree things, but I think that's kind of weird. Don't pull it out. 'Cause
I'm
I
not
want
gonna
Joey
pull it
to
out.
see it. I don't know. That's just weird to me.
First of all, this tree come down. This limb come off one of these trees right here. That one right there. That limb. Come off one of them, come down here. See this right behind you? That's the same kind of tree wood that is right there. That landed on top of this pipe. But how that got drove in the ground, because I can't see that driving it into the ground.
No.
But it's got it hooked right there pretty damn good actually.
I think that's weird.
it's possible. But it's definitely a strange find.
I think so. I've never, like I said, I'm not somebody that gets interested
Right.
in, like, it has to be, like, really interesting to me. I just thought that was really interesting. So.
Those are more feasible to
It's
scratch your head and think about
a
than
head scratcher.
trees that have been blown over on each other and all this stuff.
Right.
I'd say that's a head scratcher.
A little bit. Have to
And who the
forensic
hell's to
science-
say?
Yeah, exactly. You'd have to get somebody from forensics out here, you know.
Right?
Really find if you want to
CSI.
find out that
Look
bad.
up. Yeah, we're gonna call NCIS when we get home.
We'll
and
call
say,
her
"Hey."
hookups.
I think that's weird.
I don't see no tracks or nothing though. So, but
Yeah, well, that's
That's
what
been there a while.
That's
Who's to
why
say,
I started
yeah.
over there originally thinking, oh, I'll see if there's any tracks to it.
Well, I'm going to hook the trailer to the left over here.
deer tracks.
That's broke. Something broke that.
And I can't tell because it's a high
That's a fresh tree. Oh yeah. Are you kidding?
That is
It's
fucking
old.
Crazy.
Yes, that's definitely, that's fucking, that's
That,
gotta be 8 feet.
that could not have hit this over here without taking out that tree as
Yeah,
well.
I agree
If
with
that
you.
came down, it would hit that one and then that one.
And there's
That is-
nothing under this straight line down that
No.
would have
There's
cracked it like
nothing
that.
down on the end.
Kayla, do you see this, honey?
Brian!
That's a tree twist.
Come here, guys! That is freaking nuts.
Up at the top
Yeah,
here, you guys are gonna notice there's like a twist break. And if you look up above in these little group of trees here and straight down, there's nothing really that would have caused that. And I can't see snow or weighted stuff pulling this down to break it like that.
What we got?
We have a what looks like a tree break. And it looks like it's not taken down by another tree.
I see it.
It looks like it
Okay.
could be twisted.
It
but I
looks like
wondered if you
somebody
could
took
get
it and
up high
twisted
enough
it
to
and
see.
broke it.
I don't see why a person would be doing one
Not
that
a
high.
person. That's 7.5 feet up.
So the only tree that's down is that one, right?
Yeah. Oh no, that's not from that tree.
And the tree would have hit this tree before it hit
That was
tree.
broken.
There's
It looks like it was
nothing that-
twisted.
Yes.
and
It
broke.
and
does.
snapped.
That's what I'm saying. That's a real
That's
tree
at least,
break.
Brian, 7 feet up there.
That's a real tree
7.5 feet.
break. Here, let me get a picture of you with it
Eight.
too.
There's 8 feet.
That's 8 feet?
At
Yeah,
least.
I'm 6.
Go ahead, Anthony. Hop in there. I'll get all 3 of you.
No, that looks like something's been twisted and then bent over.
Yep.
No person's gonna do that.
No,
Not that high up.
not that high up.
And
I
you
would-
can feel, Brian, how stiff this tree is.
Oh yeah, this is still alive.
The only way somebody would ever be able to do that is if they were on horseback, but I can't see them being able to do that while they're on a
Strong
horseback.
enough to do that on
No.
a
It
horse?
would be
Hell no.
extremely difficult.
That's a break by a Bigfoot. I don't care what anybody
Well, it
says.
looks like it's been done for a while,
Yeah.
but this tree is
However,
still
the tree is
alive.
still
Oh yeah,
alive.
both
Right,
parts
the
of it
tree
are
is
alive.
still alive.
So
Not a
Even
dead
the one that's
tree.
bent over, still
it's
alive.
healing, but it's been like that for a while.
Yeah,
That
I
is
agree.
crazy.
that evidence. People.
You'd have to-
Yes!
Yes.
You'd have to show them some of the pictures of the ones over on Baker Road.
All right, crew, we found real evidence. Woo! Possible trap, a real tree break. Yes.
It's only taken how many hours?
All day.
Hey, this is what it's all about,
Yes,
fellas.
sir. And I say, you guys have been with us, so you know what we go through
Yeah.
when we go do investigations. We don't just go and look at what they found. We go,
I'm looking for another one.
Well, even there was the one at the beginning that we were kind of like, no.
Yeah. Sue found a little something. I wasn't sure because it looked like the trees just kind of folded on each other.
I
Oh,
wish,
But one was arched.
I wish we would have gotten
Over
a
the
cast. but
pathway.
I know it's
Over
gonna
there in the
come.
other-
Yeah, and it, was,
Yeah,
it
I
made
saw that.
like an indent, Brian, in
Yeah.
the tree from it being wedged up against it. So it's been there for a
Try
while.
casting something in the.
So guys, we're probably about what, Brian? 6 o'clock. If I
Oh, it's gotta be.
It's got to be close to that.
It's gotta
Yeah,
be
it's
that.
6:33 right now. So we've been out here since what? 11:30.
11:30, no, about 12
I would say
o'clock.
12 o'clock.
About 12 o'clock.
So we've been out here for 6 hours. We found a cool tree break over here. We did find some other stuff that kind of looked like prints. It's hard to say, but this right here, this tree break, I don't know where it went. Now somebody moved it.
All right, right over there.
The tree break that's over here it's definitive evidence because the tree's still alive. It would be impossible for somebody on horseback to get up that high and snap that way.
All night long, it was twisted.
It was twisted and broke. And probably, Brian, you said what, about 8 feet
8
up?
feet.
So we're gonna circle these woods a little bit more as the light starts to go down. We're gonna head back to camp, and we're really gonna try and like just spend the night kind of calmly, seeing if that maybe something would come up to the campsite and greet us during the night.
That's where you
Now-
least likely expect to see them or hear them is when you will.
Is when you least expect it.
And like a lot of these people that you do these kind of podcasts and movies, you'll see them. Sounds like going over there. Get up and start running.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
what in hell are you going to do if you catch
If you
it?
catch it.
If you do catch it, what are you going to do? It's like a dog catching a tire, you know, going down the road, boop, 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 you know.
At least we have the binoculars. I feel like if
Yeah,
we hear
that's-
something, we can just.
Well, I
Those-
brought the thermal in here in case we see anything moving.
Well, that. And
I want to see if
between
I
that
could
and the
pick it up
binoculars.
thermal. Yeah, the
Oh,
binoculars
we
too.
brought the ones
Yeah.
you bought us with us too.
We got night vision cameras that are going to be rolling, so
Well, I think when we go to sleep, we should use the body.
the
cam
body
to
cam
run
to run
the
outside.
tent.
Yeah.
And then we'll keep a camera in the tent if anything does happen. We
The
wake up.
IR should be in the tent.
The IR, yeah, definitely.
This is really cool, Brian. Thank you
Hey,
so
welcome.
much for taking us out here, man. This was awesome.
I'm about 76 years old now.
Hey, you're in good shape, man. Should we continue?
Yeah, we'll just go straight.
She's up,
see
she
what
must
they're
be up
doing.
where the campsite is.
You guys have already been back through here?
Well, me and Tony went up as far as the picnic table there. Because that trail I was on went right down, I headed right back down towards the road.
So you've never been in here?
No. No, I have Sue's had with her family and stuff, but I've been as far as the landing, and we got here that day. There must have been 20 vehicles out there. Goddamn rock. Like this.
Hey,
You want to take it, right?
Yeah?
I might have something.
How do we get to you?
Follow my voice.
Oh
What
my
did he say?
voice.
Follow my voice.
He leads us into the jar.
It's a maybe, but I thought it was interesting.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's enough.
Hey, Joe?
Yeah.
Right over there.
Oh.
Also, looks like something might be bedding in here too.
Had what?
Looks like something's bedding in here, possibly.
Really?
Potential print. Not a good one, but you guys would know better than I would. But
No, we wouldn't.
it's the right
Your eyes are as
shape.
good as ours.
Almost looks a little too wide, but
Oh, I see the break in the
there's
dirt.
a couple indents in here. And this, I can stick my finger all the way back there. So I don't know.
Ooh,
That's
that has
wild.
potential.
And you even got, see the ridge right here? Yep, right across here.
Wow, that's fucking
But look,
crazy.
stick a finger in there. Goes all the way back in.
Check it.
Shit.
What do you think, Brian?
It's been either a root or something there at one time, or
Measure.
You know, the length and the width of it
leave that there.
look really
You go
good.
from about here by the looks of it.
I got your gun, Mom. I'm touching this gun just so
Mine
you know.
inside here, up to that area.
Well, he's got to get it out of there.
Oh, that scared me. I was like, what the fuck is that noise? 20 inches.
No, bring that back.
Back a little.
Yeah, more, right there. There's
19 and a half.
19 right there, 19 and a half.
That's a good length. And the width?
Gotta be about 4 inches.
No, it's more.
About 9.
It's
No.
9 inches?
that's normal for a big one.
That's
think?
about right.
That one, that
Holy
big plus
well,
I got, don't forget, is 11 something.
For a 19-inch track, that's
This
about right.
this was interesting to me. All these are
It's
broken,
broken
off
off.
at the end here. This isn't broken, but it could have just.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
flexible.
definitely, could just gone down.
Well, what do you think, guys? I think we could try to cast that.
I think we could cast that.
Good. It jumped right out at
I
me.
will
was
tell
like,
you when
Jesus
because
Christ.
it goes downhill. When you cast it, you're gonna have a big ball.
This, I tell you
Down
what,
at
guys,
the
if there's
bottom
gonna be
of that,
anything walking through an area, this
the,
is gonna be fucking
placer.
it.
But
Yeah,
I-
definitely.
Look at
I'd
this.
say why
Well,
not?
For cover.
Look at all of the
Yeah,
meadow in
the
here.
meadow in here.
There's something that's been
That's
walking
been walking
here.
through here, and it's big.
If you look in here, it looks like there's almost toe indents. It looks like the 2 middle toes here. The big one would have
all the
landed
way back to
somewhere
the other
over here,
campsite.
maybe even rested up on there, like this.
I have
And
my bag with
this
me.
whole
It has the
spread right
plastic
here.
bag. You can try it in a pack.
It's about 19 and a half inches
You guys
by
got your,
9 inches
Plastic,
across.
right.
So it's definitely the right size.
I'd take it.
It's not the best track you could probably ever get, but I think we got the casting stuff, so we're gonna give it a shot.
Well, guys, you know what's going to have to happen, don't you?
We're gonna have to go get the rest.
Well, you can leave this for now. There ain't going to be nobody in here tonight. And let this dry and come in the
dry.
morning. We'll give you what it's that's another 2-bagger. You got to come up in
Yeah,
here.
you gotta come all the way up inside there, Ken.
You got to come all
It's
the way
huge.
around into here. That'll harden up good and stiff overnight.
Do we need to put those screws in there?
Yeah, I will right now.
There are a couple other spots where it looks like it's been matted down by
Yeah.
a big type of foot, but there's no distinct impression.
That's good enough for now.
Right.
But what do we got? We got 1 bag with us or 2?
One.
This is another. This is 2 more bags.
That's a big
fucking
cast.
trout.
As long as
Get it.
you guys, if you guys are, you should come up here in the morning and do this.
I'm not even opposed to coming in a few hours and doing it either.
How about we go back and get the rest of the stuff? If you're willing to come back in here with these guys,
We got
we'll hike-
spots and flashlights. We
Right.
could get right back in
We
here
could just wait a couple hours and come back.
and come back.
Well, we're headed back in to finish up the cast we found. Hopefully it's still there. Somebody hasn't swiped it. If we can find it.
Yeah, we got it. It's literally just a straight line from here in that meadow, so.
I remember having to walk around these trees. I didn't know something fucking weird about him.
Yeah, that was very weird. I saw him running.
Yeah, he was running down the fucking trail.
I was like, what the
What are you
fuck
doing?
is he
Hiking.
doing?
Have a good night, guys. We might have saw something.
Just getting out of here.
We should have said, we're hunting Bigfoot. Did you see something?
What the fuck, you think we were park rangers or something?
See that?
Yeah, hard as a rock. Hard as a
Wow, that's crazy.
This is going to be somewhat thin. It's going to look rough the way we're doing it, but what you're interested is what's on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't forget.
That's out. Push it into those holes there.
I don't know what you're going to get out of this. I would have liked to come all the way back there, but it's just not going to work. It just ain't got, it's going to be too thin.
You got, that's the only bag you got?
Yep, that's it. You're going to realize this son of a bitch is that deep.
Yeah.
It is. It's an imprint. Big.
Even just the shape of it, you know?
Screws. When you come up in the morning, start in the back.
Okay.
Get your knife down in the ground and go underneath it like this, all the way around, up in there included, the whole 9 yards. Then if you can get the back up and get your hand down in there and start working it up. But there was a root there too, if I recall.
Yeah.
I hope it ain't fucking going to adhere to that to the point where
I fucking saw it.
yeah, I've had to do that before. Wash my hands off when I get out there.
So that's good?
Yep.
We got the cast finished. We're gonna come pick it up in the morning, let it dry, and we'll see how it looks. Alright guys, so it's the next morning. We woke up a little bit ago, took camp down, packed everything up. But we came back to the cast, it's all dry. We're gonna take a little bit of time here and make sure we can get it out in one piece. If it doesn't come out in one piece, it's not a huge deal. We can repair these things as long as it just doesn't turn to powder. We should be alright, but we're gonna start digging at it here and seeing if we can get it out. Yeah, so we won't really be able to tell too much till we let this dry, take it home and brush it off, but you can see it's definitely the right shape.
Especially where that big toe is there.
It does look like a toe.
I would say we thought this was a left foot at first, but
It might be a right.
it's looking like it's a right.
Yeah,
So
because
this looks like the big toe.
Yeah.
And look, you can already see the
The tarsal break.
The mid-tarsal break right here. So yeah, guys, this has definitely
pretty nuts.
been an awesome experience for us to come out here with Brian and get our first cast. Not the most ideal casting situation, but we passed up on a few other ones, and this is the one we decided on. So we'll get it cleaned up. We'll show you guys what it looks like. But here's to many more adventures and hopefully finding many more casts and pieces of circumstantial evidence. That's what we're trying to do here. So without further ado, guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.